Are you thinking of treating yourself to a new pair of goggles or sunglasses only to feel overwhelmed by all the technical jargon? What is VLT, and do you need category 3 or 4 glasses for your glacier trip? How are UVA and UVB different, and why is there no mention of UVC, the most dangerous kind of UV radiation? What's the advantage of polarized lenses? And what the heck is an ABI number, and why should you even care? In this video, I'm here to clear up the confusion so you can make the best decision when buying your next pair of goggles or glasses. Not this kind of glasses. Full disclosure, this video is sponsored by Vallon, a brand that provides me with some awesome eyewear, of which we'll be giving away some in this video. That said, everything I'm about to tell you comes from my own research. I only double-checked with the experts at Vallon afterwards, who helped me clarify a few points I was uncertain about. The specs I'll be talking about apply across the board, regardless of brand. However, while browsing websites of competing brands, I did notice that the level of detail in the specs provided varies a lot. Some brands provide tons of information, while others are surprisingly vague. And some big brands don't even list VLT. VLT stands for visible light transmission. It's the percentage of the light that passes through the lens and reaches your eyes. VLT can be grouped into low, medium and high, but it also relates to the lens category, which ranges from 0 to 4. To achieve a certain VLT, different color lenses and coatings are used, but more on that later. For goggles, I find between 15 and 20% is a good all-rounder and what I use the most, even in stormy Japan. Cat 0 would be something you use for night skiing, while Cat 4 is for high altitude to protect you from that nasty UV radiation. UV, short for ultraviolet radiation, is part of the electromagnetic spectrum, just beyond the visible light range. It is divided into 3 main categories based on wavelengths. The shorter the wavelengths, the more energy the light carries, and therefore the more damage it can do to your eyes or your skin. The good news is that UVC gets absorbed by the Earth's atmosphere and therefore doesn't pose a threat in the first place. The only time you would encounter UVC is when using a welding torch. UVA and UVB, however, do reach us, and all goggles and sunglasses should definitely be designed to protect you 100% from those, even the cheap, shitty ones that they give away as freebies. If not, your eyes are in danger of developing a cataract caused by UVA radiation. UVB gets partly blocked by the Earth's ozone layer. However, that part that does reach us is the culprit of sunburns and melanoma, and can cause snow blindness as it can damage your eye's cornea. No matter the brand, look for a label that says UV 400. This will ensure that your lenses will block all harmful rays. But enough about skin cancer, let's be jolly again by giving away a pair of Vallon Freebirds. For strap and frame, there are 10 colors to choose from, and you can also pick one of 5 tinted lenses. Orange and copper are for low light and will help enhance contrast. Silver and sky blue are more color neutral and all around a good option. And if you're from the southern hemisphere or love park skiing all spring long, smoke might be the best option for you. All you gotta do to win is leave a comment below and we'll randomly pick a winner early 2025. If you don't want to wait that long, check out the Vallon website in the meantime. Admittedly, understanding the science behind lens tint isn't straightforward. I often read that yellow, amber and gold will enhance contrast and depth perception and is good for cloudy days. Blue, on the other hand, helps with foggy conditions and enhances contours in the snow. If you want to find out more, check out this video by size. Even though it is a marketing video, I did find it quite interesting. Apart from lens tint, it is also important to look at the coating of the lens. I found 5 types that seem relevant. For goggles, I find it essential that they come with an anti-fog coating, as foggy goggles are simply a nightmare. However, make sure to always dry your goggles properly at night, or you might get condensation in between the 2 layers that are stacked on top of each other. Anti-scratch coating is also useful, not only if you, like me, often forget to put the goggles back in the case after skiing, but also if you like to ski tight trees and get whipped in the face a lot. There are also hydrophobic and oleophobic coatings, repelling water and oil respectively. For goggles, we want the hydrophobic one to keep the snow away. Oleophobic is more important for sunglasses to keep them clear of fingerprints and smudges. Lastly, there's also mirror coating, which can reduce glare by reflecting some light off the lens. However, this works primarily by reducing brightness and not the specific optical distortion caused by the glare. If you want to reduce glare properly, it's best to use polarized lenses. Okay, let me show you polarization in real life, because this is actually pretty cool. On this camera we have a polarizing filter, and when I start turning it, we can see that the image changes. The sky gets darker and then brighter again, depending which way the filter is oriented. Okay, now I've taken off the filter. Let's see what the image looks like when I hold my HoloLens in front of it, as these sunglasses are also polarized. And as we can see, depending which way I hold them, we get a similar effect. Think of light as a wave that vibrates in any direction, up, down, left, right, or anything in between. When we look at any object, like this table in front of me, the light waves that reach my eye will be scattered randomly. However, when light reflects off flat surfaces, like glass, water, or ice, it tends to become polarized, meaning that all the waves will vibrate in the same direction, usually horizontally, and this is what we perceive as glare. Polarized glasses are designed in a way that blocks this horizontally polarized light, while allowing vertically aligned light waves to pass through. Think of it as a fence with vertical lattices. Wrong fence. Through which you want to flick a playing card. If you throw it upright, it'll go through, but if you throw it sideways, it'll bounce back. This is especially useful for water sports like fishing, sailing, sea kayaking, anything on a lake or ocean really. I also use them for driving, but word of caution here, in winter, polarized glasses can make it harder to spot wet or icy patches, so it's better to use unpolarized glasses instead. That is also one of the reasons why ski goggles aren't usually polarized, as it may affect your ability to correctly judge the snow conditions right in front of you. Computer screens and smartphones most often also emit polarized light, which can make it harder for you to read the screen when wearing polarized glasses. I tested it at home and it didn't seem to be a big problem, because my HoloLens and my screens seem to be polarized the same way. Only on my iPhone it was a little bit noticeable. I think the waves here come in at like 30 or 45 degrees, which means between 25 and 50% of the light gets filtered out. At 90 degrees, no light will pass through unless you add another filter in between at 45 degrees, and suddenly we get more light again. How weird is that? Some of the cool quirks of quantum mechanics. Let's stay nerdy just a little bit longer and talk about clarity, in particular about chromatic aberration. If you've ever worked with photo editing software like Lightroom or Photoshop, you'll probably have noticed some fringing around the edges, especially in contrasty areas. This happens because different wavelengths of light get reflected at different rates when passing through a lens, kind of like a prism. The amount of distortion and chromatic aberration can be quantified by the so-called Abbe value. The higher the value, the better the clarity. The term was coined by German physicist Ernst Abbe, a pioneer in optics and also a co-owner of the Carl Zeiss optical company, where he revolutionized the design and manufacturing of lenses for microscopes, telescopes and eyeglasses. Ah, the Germans. Great at physics, but not so much at world wars. The Abbe value depends a lot on the material that is used. Of course, in sports we want the material to be lightweight and shatterproof. This means despite its high Abbe number, glass is out of the question. Standard plastic and polycarbonate lenses have a lower Abbe value, somewhere between 30 and 40. Common materials above 40 are Trivex, around 42 to 45, and a plastic called CR39, reaching the high Abbe number of 58. However, as CR39 isn't super impact resistant, it's not a great option either. Vallon is using nylon polyamide for many of its sunglasses, reaching an Abbe number of 52, which actually makes them market leader when it comes to sports lenses. Pushing this number even higher would have diminishing returns, and you probably wouldn't notice much difference anyways. Okay, I hope this video was helpful in making you an informed buyer of your next pair of goggles or sunglasses. Check out the Vallon website for some high quality goods in a sick retro look. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. I wonder what the Abbe number of this beer glass is. Science.